Day 8 of our Everyday with Jesus devotion, Panicky Prayers or Unshakable Trust. After witnessing 3 powerful miracles performed by Jesus in the first half of Matthew chapter 8, the disciples find themselves in the midst of a terrible storm on the Sea of Galilee. Despite the fact that Jesus was right there with them in the boat, the disciples' response to the storm was one of fear, which showed the fickleness of their faith. Prayers of panic. We've probably all prayed these types of prayers before. Oswald Chambers explains that the way that you pray can reflect the nature of your faith. He writes, "Our Lord has a right to expect that those who claim to be His should pray with a confidence in His nature and abilities. But too often, our trust is in God up to a certain point. But once we reach that point, we can resort back to those panic type of prayers." The disciples found themselves in this very situation. They had reached their capacity and found themselves at a point of desperation in the midst of the storm. So they cried out to Jesus. And Jesus responds with these words, "O you of little faith." Now, I suspect that this response would not have been the one that the disciples had been expecting. Jesus' words must have pierced their hearts as they realized that they had chosen fear instead of faith, worry instead of trust. Imagine the joy in the heart of Jesus if instead they had remained absolutely confident in Him, no matter what was happening around them. For we know that faith is what pleases God. When you're confronted by a crisis, the true character of your faith will emerge, undistorted and impromptu. And it's never too late to invite Jesus to still the storms you may be facing and to ask Him to teach you how to rest confidently in Him. He will strengthen your faith as you rely on Him. Give yourself a simple crisis checkup by filling in the blank in the following statement. When I'm facing a crisis, the first thing I do is... He replied, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. Matthew chapter 8, verse 26. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6.